Namaskar. Today's topic is orthogonality and projection theorem in the as per syllabus. This is for the students of MSc Maths 4th semester and paper Functional Analysis 4C6. So, in today's lecture, we study the orthogonality, Pythagorean theorem, projection theorem, etc. So, we define first orthogonal. Let x and y be two vectors in a Hilbert space H. Then x is said to be orthogonal to y and written as x orthogonal y if inner product of xy equal to 0. So in the Hilbert space, x and y are said to be orthogonal if their inner product is 0. So the properties of this inner product, the first one is that if x orthogonal to y, then inner product xy equal to 0 implies xy bar conjugate of this equal to 0 bar, and by the property of inner product this conjugate means equal to yx equal to 0, therefore y is orthogonal to x. So in this way the relation of orthogonality in H is symmetry. The second condition we can obtain that if x is orthogonal to y implies ax is orthogonal to y because axy inner product equal to axy inner product equal to a0 equal to 0 because x and y are orthogonal. Therefore, ax is orthogonal to y. So in this way, that if x is orthogonal to y, then for all scalars, ax is orthogonal to y. The third one is that we have inner product 0x equal to 0. Therefore, 0 is orthogonal to x for all x belonging to H. And thus, last fourth note that x is orthogonal. If x is orthogonal to x, then x inner product xx equal to 0 implies norm of the x square equal to 0. And this implies x equal to 0. So this means that the 0 vector is the only vector which is orthogonal to itself. Now we define the orthogonal complement. Let S be a non-empty subset of a Hilbert space. So here A will come. A. Let S be a non-empty subset of a Hilbert space H. Then orthogonal complement of S is denoted by S orthogonal and defined as S orthogonal equal to x belonging to H such that x is orthogonal to S. That is x belongs to H such that xy equal to 0 for all y belonging to S. Then we will say that this is the orthogonal complement of the S. Next definition, that a vector x is said to be orthogonal to a non-empty subset S of a Hilbert space H if x is orthogonal to y for each y in S. Next we define that orthogonal sets. So two non-empty subsets S1 and S2 of a Hilbert space H are said to be orthogonal if X orthogonal Y for all X belonging to S1 and for all Y belonging to S2. So if this property hold for each element of the S1 and each element of the S2, then we will say that the set S1 is orthogonal to a set S2. Now we prove an important theorem, that is Pythagorean theorem. The statement of the Pythagorean theorem is that if x and y are two orthogonal vectors in a Hilbert space H, then norm of the x plus y square equal to norm of the x minus y square equal to norm x square plus norm y square. So this is the statement that if x and y are orthogonal vectors, then their sum or minus normal of square equal to norm of the different square element square. So we have given here that x is orthogonal to y, therefore inner product of xy equal to 0, and also xy equal to 0 implies xy bar equal to 0, and that is yx equal to 0. So we denote this by the equation number 2. So if x and y are orthogonal, then we are having xy equal to 0 and yx equal to 0. As we have seen earlier, that this is the symmetric property. Now consider Now we consider that norm of the x plus y square. Then by definition of the norm, this is the inner product of the x plus y comma x plus y. And now we open this inner product by the property of the inner product. We obtain xx plus xy plus yx plus yy, and as by the equation 1 and 2. These two internal term will be 0, that inner product xy and yx equal to 0, and by definition of norm we obtain this as norm of the x square plus norm of the y square. Similarly, norm of the x minus y square equal to inner product x minus y and equal to inner product xx minus xy inner product minus yx inner product plus yy. So again, using equation 1 and 2, we obtain this as norm of the x square plus norm of the y square. Therefore, we have obtained that norm of the x plus y square equal to norm of the x minus y square equal to norm x square plus norm y square. So in this way, we obtain that norm of the x plus y square equal to norm of the x minus y square equal to norm x square plus norm y square. Now we have the theorem 2, second theorem. The statement of this theorem is that let S be a non-empty subset of a Hilbert space H, then S orthogonal is a closed linear subspace of H. So orthogonal complement set is always a closed linear subspace of H. So it's proved by definition of the S orthogonal, it will contain such element x belonging to H such that inner product xy equal to 0 for all y belonging to S. Now we check for the first for subspace and then for closed property. So first, since 0 y, inner product of the 0 and y equal to 0 for all y belonging to S, therefore 0 belongs to S orthogonal, and so S orthogonal is non-empty subset. Now consider two elements x1 and x2 of the S orthogonal, and A and B are any two scalars. Then we have x1y inner product x1y equal to 0 and inner product x2y equal to 0. Because here x1 x2 belonging to S orthogonal and y belonging to S. So now we have for all y belonging to S, we consider the inner product ax1 plus bx2 comma y equal to ax1y plus bx2y by the linearity property of inner product, and then this will become a0 plus b0 using this equation x1y equal to 0 and x2y 0. So we obtain this value of this inner product equal to 0. Therefore we can say that ax1 plus bx2 belongs to S orthogonal. So in this way, if we are having two elements x1 x2 belongs to S orthogonal, then we obtain the result that ax1 plus bx2 also belongs to S orthogonal for any scalars a and b. Therefore, S orthogonal is a subspace of H. Now we check for its closed property, that to prove that S orthogonal is closed. So for this, let X be any limit point of the S orthogonal. Therefore, there must exist a sequence Xn of points of the S orthogonal such that sequence Xn tends to X and tends to infinity. Now let y belongs to S, then inner product of the x and y equal to 0 because this sequence is xn belongs to S orthogonal for all n. Then the now we take the limit of this inner product, that limit x and y equal to inner product x and y equal to 0, and then we take this limit inside of the inner product because inner product is a continuous map. So we are have from this that limit inner product of the limit xn comma y equal to 0, and age limit of this xn is x. Therefore, inner product xy equal to 0, and this implies x belongs to S orthogonal. So if we are having x as a limit point of this sequence, then we have shown that x belongs to S orthogonal. Therefore, we obtained the result that S orthogonal is a closed subspace of H. So remark for this, that we have just shown that S orthogonal is a closed linear subspace of H. Therefore, S orthogonal is complete because this is a subset of the H. Since each closed subset of a complete space is complete, therefore S orthogonal is a Hilbert space with the inner product defined in H. Now we define second orthogonal complement. Let S be any non-empty subset of a Hilbert space H, then S orthogonal is a closed subspace of the H. So we define the second orthogonal complement as this one, S orthogonal and written as S double orthogonal, and by this equation that S double orthogonal or second orthogonal equal to x belongs to H such that xy equal to 0 for all y belonging to S orthogonal. So we are having some simple property and student can verify themselves. That the first property, simple property, that H orthogonal equal to 0. Here H is the Hilbert space, whole space, and its orthogonal equal to 0, and orthogonal of the 0. 0 orthogonal equal to H. The third one is S intersection S orthogonal is subset of the 0 set. Second, fourth property, that if S1 is subset of the S2, then S2 orthogonal is subset of the S1. So if we take orthogonal, then this order of the subsets are reversed. And again, fifth one is S orthogonal to, S is subset of the S double orthogonal. And the last one, sixth property, that S orthogonal equal to S triple orthogonal. So now we have the theorem third. Statement of the theorem is that let M be a proper closed linear subspace of a Hilbert space H, then there exists a non-zero vector Z0 in H such that Z0 is orthogonal to M. So if M is any proper closed linear subspace of a Hilbert space H, then we are able to find a non-zero vector Z0 in H such that Z0 is orthogonal to M. Proof is, since M is a proper subspace of H, so there exists a vector x belonging to H such that x does not belonging to M. So now let d be the distance of x from M. Then by definition of the distance, that d equal to infimum of the norm x minus y for where y belongs to M. And as y belongs to M and x does not belongs to M, therefore x is not equal to y and hence d is always greater than 0. Now since M is a proper closed subspace of H, so there exists a vector y0 belonging to M such that norm of the x minus y0 equal to d. So now we take z0 equal to x minus y0, then norm of the z0 equal to norm of the x minus y0 equal to d, that is z0 is a non-zero vector. And now the last condition for this theorem, that to prove that z0 is orthogonal to M, let y be any arbitrary vector in M. For any scalar a, we have z0 minus ay equal to x minus y0 minus ay equal to x minus y0 plus ay. Or this implies that norm of the z0 minus ay equal to norm of the x minus y0 plus ay, and which is greater and equal to d equal to norm of the z0. Because here y and y0 belongs to M and M is a subspace, so y plus ay0 also belongs to M, and therefore norm of the z0 minus ay square is equal to greater and equal to norm of the z0 square. Here norm z0 square, z0 square. So now from this we obtain that inner product z0 minus ay is and z0 minus ay minus z0 z0 is greater and equal to 0, and now apply the property of the inner product. We open this and obtain this as z0 z0 and so on, and cancelling the same term we obtain this as minus a bar z0y minus a inner product y z0 plus a bar inner product y is greater and equal to 0. And we denote this by the equation number 1. So this relation 1 is true for all scalars a. So take a equal to bz0y, where b is an arbitrary real number, then by 1 we obtain. So in equation 1, we replace a equal to b from bz0y and obtain this inequality, and after simplifying we obtain this as b modulus of the z0y square is and into b norm y square minus 2 greater and equal to 0, and this we denote as equation number 2. So this relation 2 is true for all real number b. So if possible, we let Z0 inner product Z0Y is non-zero. So if we choose B to be positive and so small that no P into norm Y square is less than 2, then the relation 2 does not hold good because the sign of this term will become the negative and but this have to remain positive. So this inequality does not hold and therefore our assumption that Z0Y non-zero is false. Therefore, we must have the choice only that inner product Z0Y equal to 0 for all Y belongings to M and therefore Z0 is orthogonal to M. So in this way, we obtain a such non-zero element that for any closed linear subspace we can find such a non-zero element such that Z0 is orthogonal to M. Now we have theorem 4. This tells us that let M be a linear subspace of a Hilbert space H, then M is closed if and only if implies and is implied that M equal to M double ortho. So first we prove implies part. For this, let M be a closed subspace of H. Then to prove that M equal to M double orthogonal. As we know that M is subset of the M double orthogonal. So let this inclusion be proper. That is M is not equal to M double orthogonal. Then M is a proper closed subspace of a Hilbert space M double per and show by the preceding theorem that there exists a non-zero vector Z0 belonging to M double orthogonal such that Z0 is orthogonal to M or Z0 belongs to M orthogonal. Then Z0 belongs to M orthogonal and Z0 is belongs to M double orthogonal. Therefore, Z0 belongs to M orthogonal intersection M double orthogonal. This we denote as equation number 1. But since M orthogonal is a subspace of H, so we must have M orthogonal intersection M double orthogonal equal to 0. Hence, from 1 and 2, we conclude that Z0 equal to 0 and which is a contradiction. Therefore, our assumption that M is not equal to M double orthogonal was wrong and hence M is equal to M double orthogonal. The converse part of this theorem, let M be a subspace of a Hilbert space H and M equal to M double orthogonal equal to M orthogonal complement. We know that this M orthogonal complement is a closed subspace of the H so that M equal to M double per is a closed subspace of. So if this M equal to M double orthogonal, then M is a closed subspace of H. So we have theorem 5. Now the theorem 5 tells us that let M and N be closed linear subspace of a Hilbert space H such that M is orthogonal to N, then the linear subspace M plus N is also closed. So we prove here that M plus N is closed. So let the proof is let Z be any limit point of M plus N, then there must exist a sequence Zn of points of the M plus N such that sequence Zn tends to Z. And because M is orthogonal to N, therefore M intersection N equal to 0 so that the subspace M plus N is the direct sum of the subspace M and N and consequently each Zn belongs to M plus n can be uniquely expressed as Zn equal to Xn plus Yn, where Xn belongs to M and Yn belongs to n. Now each convergent sequence is a Cauchy sequence, so Zn is a Cauchy sequence. Therefore, as Mn tends to infinity, norm of the Zm minus Zn square tends to 0. Now putting the value of Zm as Xm plus Ym and Zn as Xn plus Yn. Then we rearrange these terms, so we obtain this by using the Pythagorean theorem, that norm of the Xm minus Xn square plus norm of the Ym minus Yn square tends to 0. So these are separately tends to 0. Hence Xn and Yn are Cauchy sequences in M and N respectively, which are complete being closed subspace of the H. And so there exist X belonging to M and Y belonging to N such that sequence Xn tends to X and sequence Yn tends to Y. Now Z equal to limit Zn equal to limit Xn plus Yn equal to limit Xn plus limit Yn equal to X plus Y belonging to M plus N, and hence M plus N is a closed set. Now we have the last theorem known as projection theorem, and statement of this projection theorem is that let M be a closed linear subspace of a Hilbert space H, then H equal to M plus M orthogonal. Here this sign denotes the direct sum, that H equal to direct sum of the M and M orthogonal, and the direct sum means that each element of the H have unique representation by the sum of the elements M and M. So the proof of this is easy. Let M be a subspace of a Hilbert space H, then we know that M intersection M orthogonal equal to 0 set. Therefore, to show that H equal to M direct sum M orthogonal, we are only to prove that H equal to M plus M orthogonal. And now we take that N equal to M plus M orthogonal, then we shall show that H equal to N. Now obviously that M is a subset of the N and M orthogonal is also a subset of the N. Therefore, now taking orthogonal on these functions, then we obtain N orthogonal is subset of the M orthogonal and N orthogonal is subset of the M orthogonal. Therefore, N orthogonal is a subset of the M orthogonal intersection M double orthogonal, and which is the 0 set. Therefore, N orthogonal is a 0 set, and this implies N double orthogonal, N orthogonal equal to 0 orthogonal, and this N double orthogonal equal to H, because the orthogonal 0 orthogonal set is equal to H. So this implies that N equal to H, because N is equal to M plus M orthogonal is a closed subspace of the H, and this implies N double orthogonal equal to N. So hence H equal to M plus M orthogonal and M intersection M orthogonal equal to 0. Therefore, these two conditions for the direct sum, that each element is representable as a sum of this and this representation is unique. So in this way, we obtained H as a direct sum of the M plus M and. So in today's lecture, we have studied the orthogonality property and Pythagorean theorem, and the orthogonality and Pythagorean theorem. So in today's lecture, we have obtained, we have studied the orthogonality, Pythagorean theorem, and projection theorem. And for more detail, students can refer to any book of functional analysis. I am Dr. R.P. Somani, Associate Professor, Maths. Thank you.